we'll be looking at the strategic role of media in strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Of course, you should know that Nigeria's democracy, though evolving, faces numerous challenges that test its resilience and growth. And at the heart of this democratic journey is the media, often referred to as the fourth estate of the realm, as they are called. Now, with the power to shape public discourse, hold government accountable, and foster informed citizenry, the media plays a pivotal role in strengthening democratic institutions. Joining us today is Mr. Sonny Irabo, a veteran broadcaster, advertising practitioner, and a media manager with vast experience in media communications. Now, he's the popular host of the program, Sonny Irabo Live, and we'll be exploring how the media can strategically contribute to Nigeria's democratic growth, particularly at a time when the nation's political landscape is undergoing significant transformation. Good morning, Mr. Sonny, and it's a pleasure to have you join us this morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me? I said good morning, and my microphone is on. So can you hear me?
Yes, a beautiful morning to you too. Thank you very much. I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you.
Good.
All right, now, quickly, as a seasoned media professional, how would you assess the role of Nigerian media in promoting democracy since the return to civilian rule in 1999?
Well, I would say that it has gone from bad to worse. The media has always been in the middle of everything, and it all depends on whose interest you are protecting. But the media has not been well respected, and the media practitioners themselves have not respected themselves to the extent that when they say something, they'll be taken seriously. A situation where you apply your interest to the highest bidder, it can never make you the best professional possible. So I wouldn't give a pass mark to the media, not much. I'm sorry.
Okay, you are not giving a pass mark to the media. You said not much. Why?
Well, as I said, a situation where media practitioners have found themselves in, handouts where the highest bidder controls or dictates what you are going to cover, report, or opinionate on, it becomes a very big problem. So we have not, we as media practitioners have not been as astute and as professional as I would have expected us to be. So what I mean by this is we should be able to, tell truth to power. We have not many of us have done that. We've seen some brazen, disobedience to the rule of law, and that has always held us, in a situation where we could not really apply our professionalism to the best of our ability. And that is a very huge question mark for a discerning media practitioner.
Okay, now, in your experience, how does freedom or the lack of it impact how does it impact on democratic growth? Freedom of information, we've heard over time that there's freedom of information bill, but till now, there are people who have spoken to power and they are resting behind bars in the country.
You almost answered your question in the way you said it. Yeah, when you say you tell truth or talk truth to power, it is expected that that power should be able to listen to you, take your advice, and do the best he can to ensure that whatever he's saying is to the interest and the sovereignty of the nation, the interest of the people that he governs, and the extent that, come what may, let him show an example in his leadership. What we are seeing is the people are left, unattended to, their basic needs are not met, And then the leadership is living largesse, very affluently. So it begins to call to question who is telling the truth here? Whose interest is the leadership really protecting? Is there really a sovereign in the nation? Which is why I'm saying there is no respect for the rule of law because it appears that the the leader is the one that dictates the pace, dictates the tune, and is above the law.
What do you believe are the core responsibilities of the media in a democracy, and how has Nigerian media fared in fulfilling these responsibilities?
Okay, from my own perspective, let's look at it from broadcasting. You inform, that's your primary assignment. You educate, you know, share knowledge, broaden your knowledge scope. And then you entertain. That also means that the music, the movies, all those, and the comedies, the things you listen to or watch, they are all part and parcel of entertainment. And so this tripod is supposed to be effort of the media practitioner who is supposed to make sure that the people who are your listeners, your viewers, they are the ones that will gain from it. Now, by so doing, you now disseminate information from leadership, from, okay, if you like, politicians, from people who are in charge of government, people who are in charge of corporate, organizations, and all of that, so that everybody is able to see what you are doing, what they are doing, and you are able to analyze what they are doing to the expectation of the people you serve, because you as a media practitioner, you are serving the people, the ordinary man, the people. The people in leadership, the government, they are also serving the people. That's why you call it democracy, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So are we achieving all of these? If we are, why are we having this kind of dissatisfaction that is expressed by the populace? This is the real question. So when you ask, are the people, the fourth estate of the realm, are we doing enough? I'm not so sure we are doing enough. We should be bolder than we are right now. We should be able to call anybody to question. That's why we say tell truth or talk truth to leadership.
Okay, now let's move on. Now, the rise of digital media has transformed how information is disseminated. Now, how can traditional media adapt to this shift to remain relevant in strengthening democracy?
We're already adapting to it because almost every ITV, for example, I'm sure you have your own social media, handles.
Definitely.
Whatever you do is shown on YouTube, is shown on Facebook. Maybe you take, bits and pieces and then you broadcast them. So for the social media and their involvement in the root scheme of things, I think there's the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. In social media, there's a lot of fake news, and that has also made the social media, those who created it, made them to be on their seat to make sure that anything that is said must be verified, fact checked, and found to be true or false. The same way, if I'm a traditional media practitioner, I have my own social media handles. So that whatever I do traditionally, it will be found on social media. And the truth about it all is that on social media, everybody is a journalist, everybody is a broadcaster, everybody is a writer. Because as it's happening, people are doing things. They are showing it immediately. So there's online real-time broadcasting of information as it's happening. That is where the social media it has an advantage over the other forms of media. And so as a result of that, there have been people who have been known to abuse social media power. So this is why everybody needs to wake up. Be ready to face the truth as it comes out, and be also ready to, if you are accused of telling lies, be ready to defend yourself. It's as simple as that. So this is why I'm saying leadership, as a result of all this, leadership ought to be now ready and aware that they have a responsibility to carry the people along. Leadership by example. And that's why the media practitioner should wake up to his responsibility.
Okay, now, as an award-winning broadcaster and a former advisor, special advisor on information, now how can the government and media foster a more collaborative relationship without compromising the independence of the media?
Honestly, I think that the people are watching. They're expecting to hear truth from leadership. The leaders should listen to advice. The leaders should not always ignore what the media practitioner is saying, especially when they've done research to find out that they're telling the truth. The leader or the position holder in government should know that they have a responsibility to the people they serve, and so they should serve the people. They should lead by example. They should listen to the media practitioners, the opinion molders of the media, as they say things. If they are seen to be telling lies, then it's all well and good. Show the truth about it. Show the world that they are lying. Let them defend themselves. A situation where we're committing atrocities on all fronts. Even the media practitioners are committing atrocities. Leadership is committing atrocities because nobody is respecting the rule of law. Because of that, we can never get, a level playing field. Leadership appears to be applying money inducement to make sure that they buy followership. That should not be the case. Leadership should look at, for example, let's see what's happening now. There's a current situation when NNPC and Dangote refinery are loggerheads as to who is in charge of the current pump price of petrol. What should we do? These are things, honestly, we should always avoid. We must therefore look at the point that there is a rule of law. The people should not be made to suffer for the sake of suffering. If there is truth in the pump price and there should be less and less than what it is today, then the leadership should apply their wisdom to make sure that the pump price is in the interest of the people, not in the interest of those who are governing.
It seems the younger generations, they don't find interest in investigative reporting, unlike during your time where we have people who picked keen interest in investigative journalism. It takes me to this. Corruption is often a central issue in Nigeria. And how can the media effectively uncover and report corruption while ensuring the safety of investigative journalists?
While ensuring the safety of investigative journalism. That last line you just gave, to me, is the carrot stick. It's full again. Right. It's the carrot stick. And it is what should dictate the pace. Who is the media? Who is the governor, the leader? Who is the people? I use it collectively. Well, it's a tripod there. The media has a role to play by saying that they are the fourth estate of the realm. That means they bring the leadership and the followership together with a view to ensuring that all is in the interest of all concerned, not just one person, not just leadership, not just followership. So that way, there's a symbiotic relationship. So the young people you're talking about, they've been seeing us. They read, they see things. Look at what happened in 2023. The movement that was moving like river or sea flowing, water flowing. They were human beings, and they were mainly youths. We should not have lost sight of that. So having become leader now, having become president, governors, local government chairmen, ministers, commissioners, it is now time to now study the people. What do they really want? How can we make them happy? How can everybody be happy? I want to do my own business, earn get my earnings, be able to live my life without rocking the boat. I think leaders need to understand that they need to carry the people with along so that anything they say or do, the people will gladly follow. What is happening now is there's fear of the unknown from all sectors. There's insecurity, there's inflation, interest rate is skyrocketing. We don't even know anymore where the boat will berth. All we know is that unless three people, the media, leadership, and the followership, unless they sit together, begin to unravel this so-called mystery called corruption, we may never be able to solve the problem. There's nobody, I repeat, there's nobody that's above the law. If we set up the law, let us see to the extent we can allow the law to take its course so that those who are tempted to be corrupt can avoid being corrupt and just do their job. That's the way to go.
All right, now some stakeholders are of the opinion that Nigerian journalists are yet to get to global practice, that they've not really gotten to that stage, that we are still striving to get there. What is your assessment from where we were, where we are, and how can we measure up with global practice in terms of this profession?
What is global practice, sir? Please tell me. You think they are not getting this kind of problem we are having here? Of course they are. But the truth is, they are bold. They fight back. They are fearless. They're able to speak truth to their own power. But the honest situation is, if they are stifled by the so-called leadership that they have, then of course they won't be that bold anymore. Some of them are so bold that they even lose their lives in the process. Don't forget, we had a Delegiwa in this country in 1986. I was bombed out of existence for trying to tell truth to power. Till today, we never found the killer. So you see, the truth is, in America, in Europe, okay, let me take Piers Morgan, who is always fighting with whoever his guest is. Some people don't like him. Okay, let me also take Rufai Oseni here, Rice TV, and the Shehu Okimbaloye of channels. They are also fighting. But the truth is, because they do their research, you're able to see that they can back up their claims with what they find, with their findings. And because of that, whoever is the guest sometimes finds it uncomfortable for him or her to really rally around and fight back. But when they are sure of themselves, they actually do fight back. That's what makes, such experiences realizable and interesting to view. BBC has what they call the hard talk. You see, Nigerian leaders have always been to BBC hard talk, and they were, they were attacked. I don't mean physically, verbally attacked. You claim this here, but this is what we found that you are doing here in your country. How do you relate the two? And then you see a very discomfited, a very uncomfortable, Nigerian leadership guest trying to explain his position to the best of his ability. So yes, I think we're not doing badly, but the difference is that we are not as bold here collectively as they are out there in the countries that I've mentioned, like BBC in UK or United States of America, and all of that. So this is how it is. In Asia, the rule of law is very strong. A leadership that is found wanting can actually face the death penalty or get life imprisonment. That's in Asia. There are a lot of Asian countries that are dealing with their leaders like that. So really, the world is not really a bed of roses. They are full of thorns. What Nigerian leaders need to do is please study your people. Meet them at the points of their needs, as we say in prayers. Try your best to ensure that as you are a leader, lead by example. Don't encourage corruption to the point that the corrupt man is now, making utterances that are even infuriating the people that they lead. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law. Please, let's take it like that. If
Okay,
we don't respect the rule of law, why are we there?
Okay, you just land on your thoughts before we move on now.
Yeah, finish.
Okay, now, before we let you go, as someone who has trained many media professionals, what advice will you give to upcoming media practitioners on maintaining integrity while navigating the complexities of Nigeria political landscape?
Well, my advice simply is maintain integrity. And as you navigate, find out your flaws. If you are not good, don't dare it. If you're not sure of yourself, don't even attempt it. And then please research well so that you are sure of your facts. Then go and study the law that you are supposed to respect and obey. You see, when we say study the law, we're not saying go to law school. We're saying there are things that have been written out for you to look at. Let them guide you. In my training, when I train media practitioners, I always, show them some of those tapes that I mentioned earlier on. BBC Hard Talk, for example. Even you'll be surprised that even CNN, when they want to go against you, they can still go against you anyway. But they have their own ways. So I just want to admonish that we should endeavor to face the truth, defend the truth, and ensure that the democratic tenets that we claim to imbibe, we understand it and we know how to apply it. Because we cannot talk to the leadership if we are as bad as the leadership that we claim are bad. I rest my case.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you for finding time to be on the program. And we do hope to knock on your door pretty soon again to have you on our platform.